Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Fashion with Destiny. I am here with the beautiful, the gorgeous Javon Bell, JMB clothing line, Justify My Beauty. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. God is good. Beautiful weather out today.
Right,
Can
yes.
you believe the weather?
Yes, like I didn't want to go into work today.
Right. I just want to drive around in
Yes.
the weather. Because who knows, in the next couple of days, it might be snow.
Right.
This is Buffalo.
hmm
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a model, and I also just started designing. I came up with JMB because it's my initials, Javon Marie Bell.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
I
cute.
clarify it as Justify My Beauty because, growing up, I had like low self-esteem about myself. I didn't think I was a beautiful black woman. Like I just was like, I'm not beautiful. Like, and my mom would always tell me, you are beautiful. And I'm just like, she's my mother. Like, she's going to tell me that.
Right.
So like, I always wanted someone to like justify my beauty. Basically, I wanted people to tell me I was beautiful, instead of just having that courage and being beautiful, I was always into fashion, always into modeling. When I was in high school, we had this thing where you look up to a celebrity, and I dressed up as Naomi Campbell. And everybody was just like, "Oh, my Naomi Campbell looks better than you. You can't be no model," and things like that. So
Wow.
that made me feel, like, dang, I'm still ugly. Like,
Give you a little self-esteem.
yes, like I'm not as beautiful as I thought I was, and until I got to college, and sometimes we have fashion shows in the college industry. So I was just like, oh yeah, maybe I should try out because everybody was telling me, girl, you always killing it,
Yeah.
with the way you dress. So I did, and then I loved it. So I was just like, you know what, maybe I should start modeling again, and then start modeling. Then started with the clothing line. I was like, maybe I should make my clothing line an actual, thing. And that's what I decided to do. And I just want women to feel beautiful regardless, no matter whoever says you're not, you are regardless. You're beautiful inside and out, no matter what anybody else says, even whether it's friends, family, relationship. Because even when I was in relationships, like I would take things to heart. Like a guy would be like, oh, if you gain weight, because I have a thyroid issue, so I constantly gain weight and lose weight. If you gain weight, oh, I don't want to be with you, you're ugly, blah blah. And I just like, oh,
Wow.
so like, yeah, so I want women to just be like, no, I'm beautiful, no one could tell me regardless.
Right.
And so my clothing is basically wanting women to feel beautiful regardless of what they're wearing, whether it's a leggings or whether it's a sweatsuit or whether it's a skirt, a top, whatever I have out there for a lady, they can feel beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I feel that, because as we get older, we do size up differently, or a lot of women, we go through a lot of different hormone changes and stuff like that, like menopause.
Yes, yes.
It'll make you gain, it make you bounce up and down. So it's kind of hard to find the clothes that you love, that you want to wear without somebody, saying you don't look good in it or whatever the case might be.
Exactly.
So I'm happy that you made that, I know that made you feel really bad about yourself when people's coming to you and saying that, oh, you ain't got it, or you need not to do
Yes.
it, Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you get into, what really made you get into modeling first?
I always thought I was this little fashionista model. Growing up, I would put my mom's shoes on and be walking around in the house, and she'd be like, "Girl, you don't take my shoes off." So like ever since then, I was just like, "Oh, I would love to model." And then watching, Victoria's Secret and their models, that made me have a little bit of self-esteem too as well, because they were skinny. And so it was just like, I was like, oh, dang, I can't be no model. Look at them. They're skinny,
Right.
and I'm a hippie and, things like that. But growing up, I always wanted to model. And it was just that my low self-esteem got to me.
Yeah. So what age did you started modeling?
I believe I was like in my 20s. I think I was 20, 21, because I still had that low self-esteem about myself. And I didn't really get into it until, in my 20s.
So when you saw the skinny models and everything like that, because you probably didn't realize they had plus size modeling models too, right?
Yeah.
What did you say about yourself? Like, how did that made you feel? Because you saw all the skinny people and not, you can't get a part of it. Who was your person that was rooting you on, telling you that you can do it regardless of what people think of you? Who was that person that inspired you?
I have to say my mom and my aunt Berta, may she rest in peace, she always called me her supermodel. Like every time I'll go over her house for Thanksgiving, Christmas, she's like, hey, how's my supermodel doing? I'm like, I'm good. So like I'm, upset that she's not here, but she's watching it over me and she's happy like I'm doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah. So how long after did your mother and everybody, encourage you that you say, okay, let me just get off this, beside this bed and let me get up and start doing this work and let me go put myself out there. So how long did it take you to get yourself out there?
with modeling, it took me, a couple of years. And with designing, I just started. So, like, I'm kind of like frustrated in a bit because even though I just started, I wanted to like just blow up.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen that way. But I really wish, like, at least my friends and family would like support more to get me out there and get me noticed. Like, hey, you know what? Go to my sister or go to my cousin. She got the clothing line JMB. Go support.
Right.
That's what I wish I had so I can get that blow up kind of. But I have my little support team that I do have, so I appreciate them.
Yes.
So, and I'm going to Miami this week actually
Okay.
to sell some of my clothing at a yacht party. So I'm glad, like, even though I'm not networking here in Buffalo, I'm networking somewhere else where they would know me, and then the whole world will know me eventually.
So let me ask you this question. We live here in Buffalo. So you find it hard for us to support each other in Buffalo, or do you find it easy for us?
I find it hard. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm not getting the support I want. Even with modeling, I wasn't getting the support I needed or wanted. Like, I want to get it from certain people. So I feel like it is kind of hard getting it here in Buffalo because, like I said, I just started my business and I'm going to Miami to,
Right.
network and sell my clothing and speak at a women's shelter and things like that. So, like, I feel like it is kind of hard, and I feel like we should support each other here in Buffalo because that's all we have
Absolutely.
is each other here in Buffalo. So we should support one another first and then go out and, support others.
Right, because you see a lot of people that's leaving Buffalo because they feel that they're not getting the support that they need, and it's sad because we need to, like you said, come together as a community as whole and
Right.
support one another. Because we sit back and just support one another, just imagine how bad we'll be.
Exactly. Yes. Like,
Yes, but you're going to Miami, which is a nice weather.
yes, yes.
It's nice out there.
Yes, it is.
So how you're excited there? Like when you're going next week, like you're gonna be excited.
I actually leave
What
this
you doing?
Friday.
Are you modeling your clothes or are you just selling your clothes?
Yes, I'm gonna model and I'm selling them. So it's gonna be a yacht party, and I'm gonna have my little like tank top on and my shorts, and sell my stuff and hopefully hope for the best.
I know that, right? I like that. I like that. Have you been anywhere else besides Miami?
No, not yet. Well, selling clothing wise, no, but modeling, yes. I've been in New York City. I've been to Florida. I've been where else have I been? Oh, in LA to model. So hopefully I can get to all those places as well to sell my clothing.
Now, was it easy for you to get on those platforms to be a model?
Some of them were easy and some of them were a little harder, because it's a lot of competition out there, especially in New York City and LA. So those were kind of like the harder ones, but I made it through, got through it, and I'm actually going to be in a fashion show again in New York City for the same, for the model experience, for the same people I modeled for before. So I appreciate that. And I'm going to be the designer too there. So, like, I'm a model and a designer. So
That's gonna be really exciting for you.
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you that you
Thank
still,
you.
regardless of what people were saying about you or how you was feeling or whatever the case might be, you still pushing on to your dreams. And a lot of us will stop pushing our dreams because of the negativity that comes to us. And I always tell people, you know what, you have to just avoid them. Avoid them. They're gonna talk about you. They always say they talk about Jesus. They're gonna talk about you. You're doing something
Yes,
great.
yes.
We all got haters. I mean, that's just part of life. We all got haters.
Exactly.
But let your haters be your motivator.
Right. Yes.
So, as long as you keep pushing, never stop doing what you're doing, that's the best thing. So, what if somebody want to be a model? What are some of the steps they have to take to be a model?
That's a good question because everybody thinks modeling is just easy and oh, you just take pictures and you're just, you're pretty.
Right.
Like, no, it's not about just taking pictures and being pretty. Like,
Because
there's
I would
a
think that, not knowing. I know if I some extra steps in there,
right,
but,
yeah, because and in the beginning, that's what I thought too. In my younger days, I'm like, oh, I know how to take pictures, but no,
Right.
it's more than just taking the pictures because you have to have different facial expressions. Like I just love to smile, and they're like, could you do something else? And I'm just like, what? Because everybody's just like, oh, you could be in a Colgate commercial, and I'm like, oh yeah, so I was just
Right.
smiling on my pictures. And they're like, no, yeah, there's other expressions you have to do. And I'm like, oh, okay. So there's different facial expressions.
Okay.
You have to know how to walk as well in heels. Like some girls,
That's true.
you know,
Take your clothes off for 5 minutes. My girlfriends will tell you, half an hour, I got some other shoes and put them on.
yeah, like some girls just cannot, walk in heels and they just think, oh, I got a pretty face, so I'm able to get in. But it's like, no, especially if you're going out to the industry, they want you to, have that walk because they want you to have a different look and a different walk than other models, especially on whatever you're wearing. So you're like a canvas basically for the outfit that you're wearing, So it's a lot, you got to get up early sometimes to go to these fashion shows.
Right.
I did like last year, I did 3 fashion shows back to back. And I was exhausted, but I did it, So if you can't take all that pressure of hard work and doing something back to back as well, you're not gonna make it. And it's like I said, it's not just being a pretty face. There's more to it than that. So like you have to be dedicated and actually really want to model.
Right.
You just can't be like wake up one day and be like, you know what, I want to model.
Right.
I grew up wanting to model, so that's why I've been doing it. But some people are just like, oh, you know what? I see her modeling. I could do it too. Like, it's not that easy.
Yeah. So when you about to model, do the company themselves, do they say, okay, I want you, but I need you to lose 5 pounds, something like that? They ever came to you and say that to you?
No, not to me, surprisingly, thank God. But sometimes I go for like designers that have clothing for, plus size models or curvy models. I don't go for the designers that are only looking for like a size 0. Sometimes when you're applying to be in the fashion shows, they'll ask like for your sizes and stuff like that, or they'll say these type of models we want. We want the models that's 6 feet and size 0 to 2 and things like that. So I wouldn't apply to that. I'll apply to something where they actually want to know a curvier model.
Okay. Now, if some companies I know can be a little harsh, if they don't play. Some people think it's easy, like you said, but it's not. They're gonna tell you like it is. They're gonna tell you they don't like you, they don't want you. You gotta go.
Right.
How hard had that ever happened to you?
No, not yet. Like when I first started modeling, everybody came up to me and was like, "Oh, have you done this before?" And I said, "No, this is my first fashion show." They're like, "Oh my God, you did great. I want you in my fashion show. I want you in my fashion." I'm like, really? Like, and I was so nervous. I'm like, oh, hope I don't fall. Hope this don't happen. Hope that don't happen. It's my
Right.
first fashion show. But like, I did great. The only thing they critiqued me on was my walk. I walked real fast in heels. They're like, girl, slow it down. We're trying to see the outfit. We're trying to see you.
Right.
You gotta slow it down a bit. And I'm like, oh, this is just how I walk. Like, yeah,
Right.
don't walk the regular walk. You walk differently when you're on the runway. I'm like, gotcha. That was the only critique they had for me back then. And ever since then, I get used to like my walk. I remember, nope. Walk slowly. I'm not walking outside,
Right.
like trying to catch the bus or nothing. Like I'm on the
Right.
runway, so I gotta walk differently.
Yeah.
But
Have you ever had any bloopers? Like you slid and walking. I see a lot of
Yeah.
that on TV, and they're like,
Right.
oh, and they be falling. I'm like, oh my God,
Yes.
what's so bad for them? 'Cause the way they hit so hard. It's like, oh,
one time, a fashion show, I did fail, and I was so embarrassed. I'm just like, oh, but I think it was because like we were like rushing. It was hot. I didn't have nothing to drink, which with my thyroid issue, I need to eat and drink. So like I'm over here rushing and they're like, come on. And I was next. So I'm just like, all right, let me just go. So I'm walking and I'm like, I'm doing my thing. And next thing you know, I'm turning around and like my leg just like wobbles and I'm like, and I caught myself and got back up, but everybody, all the audience was just like clapping and everything. But me, I'm just so mad. I'm like, really? I'm like, this is what I get. I needed to drink something. I need to eat, But everybody's like, you did good. You did fine. You did good. And everybody clapped and everything. So
and that's the key importance of how you fail and you got back up. There's a lot of people who will fall and probably just run in the back and just say, I quit. I don't want to do this no more. So happy that you got back up and you kept it moving, you kept it going. And that's the beauty of anything. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a singer, a rapper, whatever you do. If you make a mistake, I remember one time I did when I was singing, I switched the sentences. By accident, but you didn't know because I was switching the sentence. I was like, because you're thinking so much in your head that you want to make sure you do a perfect job on stage. So when you do that, it's like it messes you up because you do the opposite.
Right.
But then you got to think fast because now it's like everybody's watching you, looking at you. Let me hurry up and switch this over, and keep going, don't stop. So that's professional in you that you kept going.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, my mom said the same thing. She was like, "Well, everybody falls. You see them. You see supermodels actually fall too. You see them slip and fall.
Yes.
So I was just like, you right. But I was like, but I was killing it, and then all of a sudden I just fall. Like I was saying, like I was working it. I was like, "Ooh, yeah." And then next thing you know, I'm just like catching my fall. Like,
right. So who's one of your famous fashion models?
And like I said, Naomi Campbell, she was one of the ones that I really looked up to because she was a black model, and she was beautiful, and I'm just like,
Absolutely.
and I was like, well, if she can do it, then I can do it, you know what I'm saying? So like she made me have that confidence in myself, like she got this, like she's not like no one determined like because she's black, oh you can't do this or you're too dark to do it, like no, like. So she went up there and did it, and and I appreciate her for that. I want to take one of her classes so bad, but they cost a lot. So
I'm sure one day you would be, this what they say, put a little bit here, put a little bit, a little bit here, a little bit there,
Yes,
you'll get there. That's your dream, And how important you tell the audience out here that's watching, how important to support your own dreams first.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's a good question because I'm always the one that everybody comes to, like family-wise, friend-wise. They're like, oh, yeah, hey, I need this, I need that, or, could you help me with this? And I'm always willing to just give. And even in relationships, I just gave. I always was just giving. And nothing was, returned.
Right.
And I just felt some type of way about that. I'm just like, well, I'm always giving. Why can't someone give to me? Or why can't somebody support me? I'm telling you about my goals and dreams I want to do, but, obviously no one cares. So that made me realize, what, I need to focus on myself and get myself situated in life to what I want to do. Because if I keep giving to everybody else and doing what they need, I'm not going to get nowhere in life. Right. And I'm going to still be angry, I'm going to be upset, and I'm going to be mad at myself because I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. I had this whole plan. Even when I was 18, I wrote down by the time I was 30, this, and this. And it's half that stuff never happened because I was always doing for everybody else.
Right.
So, I'm glad that I started my business. I started it last year, and I'm nervous about it, but I'm also happy that I finally decided to do it.
And that's a great thing. I think it's very important. Yeah, we get supporters. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And I think it's very important to invest into your own dreams. I'm one who does that all the time. And I always want to see everybody win. So I get what you're saying because, we're not selfish. We're selfless, So it's always important to invest in your dreams. If you have a dream, invest in them yourself. Or you get some supporters. I mean, some people are going to support you, absolutely. But then there's going to be some people not. You might not have the funds. You might have to work a little extra harder at work or whatever you definitely got to
work.
But you got to do it to, invest in yourself because I think it's the greatest feeling ever when you're doing it yourself, investing into yourself. So you're not, some would say laying on your back to get where you need to be. I'm not going to lay on my back to get where I need to be. I'm going to work my behind off to get where I need to be.
Right, exactly. So. Yeah, that's what people always ask me about, modeling. Some photographers, but oh, well, are you willing to do a nude, or are you willing to do this or this? And it's just oh no, and they're like, oh, well, you're not gonna get nowhere in life if you don't want to do no nudes, or if you don't want to do this. And it's just I can get somewhere. I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Right. If I don't want to do that, I don't have to do it. And, sometimes I don't really work with a lot of photographers because I can't trust them because I've been through, some things with a couple of photographers and I'm just oh, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to work with a lot of male photographers because I can't trust them, so.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad because some of them are really good photographers.
Right, yes, yeah.
But, you got to separate the two. Okay, this is about business and business only. And
yeah.
A lot of people don't understand. Business is business. Personal is personal. You got to separate those two.
Yes, and if you're supposed to be a photographer and respectful, especially if you have a partner you're married, girlfriend, whatever case maybe, you're supposed to be respectful for them and you and to me, like, and you're not being respectful, and I just don't like that.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. I
Yeah,
wouldn't want
no.
to work with them either.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. So let's get back to your clothing line, and you wearing
Yes.
JMB.
Yes.
Let's get back to that. So what? Okay, I know why you did it. So what prompted you to go ahead and do it?
Just me myself. Basically, I was like, I really want to get this out here. I really want to support women, and support whoever has that, low self-esteem, or whoever feels down, or whoever don't feel beautiful. They can feel beautiful wearing what I bring to the table.
Yeah. So you not just got the t-shirts. What else you got out there with
Well,
JMB on there?
Well, right now I have t-shirts and shorts and like hats, but I'm gonna start with some dresses too, because it's springtime coming, so like some dresses, skirts, sundresses and things like that.
Okay.
I'm also thinking about doing office attire because I work in the office, so like when I go to work, everybody's just waiting for me to come in because they're like, "Oh, we know she got something on good." Like, so it's just like I want to do some office attire as well. That will be coming soon, but right now I'm just starting with like the regular basics, like skirts, dresses, leggings, and things like that, just so women can feel beautiful in whatever they wear.
Okay. Now, was it hard for you to start your t-shirt line and stuff like that?
Yes, like I'm trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, and I'm just like, okay, how am I gonna do this, and when am I gonna do this, and getting the machine. I want a sewing machine. I want to get that soon, but right now I have like the heat pressure machine for right now.
Okay.
So I'm pressing the logo on, but for right now, but eventually I'm gonna be sewing some stuff too, because I want to like make the dresses and skirts and stuff like that, because some of the companies that I am working with, they don't really sell like dresses or skirts. They just do t-shirts and leggings and shorts and stuff like that. So yeah, so right now I'm just starting off with that, and then I'll work my way into other attire.
So if somebody would come to you, order you like ask for an order of 12 t-shirts, how long would that take you?
Not too long. It'll probably take me like either a day or two, because I'm on it. Especially, well, I do have 2 other jobs. Like said, you got to work to get your business going.
Right.
So like, so depending on like when they order it, like if it's a weekend, they're like, hey, it's Friday. They're like, oh, I want 12 t-shirts. I'm like, okay, got you Saturday evening. You can come get them, pick them up Saturday evening, because I'll do it Friday night, Saturday morning. It'll be done. Because I like to be on it. I don't procrastinate. Even when I was in college, I didn't procrastinate. They'd be like, oh, a project is due in December. I'm on it. Be waiting for December,
Yeah, people, you'll ask for an order and it'd be like,
yeah.
like 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, like no.
Or whatever.
I like to be on it, unless like something happened, emergency. I'll let people know, hey, it's an emergency that happened. Like I can't get your stuff out until this certain time. Or like I'll communicate with them and let them know, hey, it'll be here maybe the next day or something like that. I'm not gonna leave them hanging like when's my stuff coming?
Communication is the key.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's great that you reach back out to them, let them know, okay, it's not gonna be done today, but however, that's very important too in the business. Like, let them know, okay, I'm not gonna have it this day, but I'm gonna have it the next day or something like that. Especially if that person might be looking for to wear that shirt or whatever that Friday or whatever.
Right, exactly.
And you don't have it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And sure, I just throw on some music and I just start dancing and getting everything done. So I did when I first started. I like ordered like 20 shirts, and I say, why did I order so many? But I made them all though. I was just like, I just put some music on. I was just pressing.
Yeah.
My friend, I told my friend, I was like, hey, I'm gonna use this room right here. He said, okay. He was knocked out, and I'm still.
The music put you in a whole zone.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand. You put that music on, you be like, okay, it move faster for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Without the music. That's just for some people, not everybody.
Right. Yeah.
But for
Exactly.
me,
Especially when I
it's a thing.
put on my song, So.
Now, justifying my beauty and not know why you did it. Are you lined up with somebody in that like low self-esteem, something like that?
No, not yet. But I would love to. And even with a couple of like models to get them, like, hey, you guys, can you guys help me model for my clothing, and we support females that have low self-esteem. That's why I am going to Miami and speak with the women's shelter, because most of them, have low self-esteem because they're in a women's shelter and,
Right.
things like that, and they have kids or stuff like that. So like, they want me to speak and be that voice for them. Like, you could do whatever, even if even if you're here, you could still do what you dream of doing.
Right. And I think that's great because, I haven't did it last year. I do events called self-love.
Oh, okay.
Just give people, to love yourself
Right.
first and
Yes.
foremost. Like, it's kind of hard, especially like you said, you're going to a women's shelter, go speak with them because they've been through so many different, struggles in life.
Right.
So the self-esteem is real low. So they need someone like you to come in and step in and say, let you be the voice, and your voice is going to help heal them. And people don't understand your story can heal another person.
Right.
So I applaud you for that.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that's what the one guy said on Instagram, because I was posting about, J&B, and I was telling my story, and he was just like, I loved your story, and it made me think of my wife because she had low self-esteem when I met her and things like that. So like, can you come out here in Miami and so that's how I got the opportunity to go to Miami. So
Oh, see, you never know who's watching. I always say to people, especially on social media, be careful what you put on social media, because people do look at those things, and you'll be surprised who will contact you in your business. It's so dope. People that be contacting me and stuff like that, like, oh wow. And they say you never know who's watching you.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
facts. You don't know who's watching you. So be careful what you put out there and how you put it out there. But for
Exactly.
your story to be out there and reach that, man, and look what's happening now. Look at the blessing that God is sending you. So
Yes.
I applaud you.
Thank you.
So, what would you say to somebody who have low self-esteem and knowing that you've been through it, who's going through it right now? What could you tell them in the camera?
What I would say to you right now is, like I told myself, just think about your words and your words only. Look into the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, or tell yourself that you got this. Whatever your low self-esteem is about, you got it. Like, don't let no one else justify it. Just like I was letting everybody else justify it, don't let no one. Just ignore it. It's gonna take some time, yes, because it's hard, because you always want somebody else's opinion, but don't take their opinion. Take your own advice, and take mine because it's positive, and I've been there. So just, you are beautiful inside and out, regardless of what anybody thinks, and regardless of what you think as well. You are beautiful inside and out.
Beautiful. And surround yourself with positive people, because
Yes.
sometimes we surround ourselves with a lot of negative people, and it brings us down too as well. So surround yourself with some positive thinkers, some positive movers, moving, shaking, doing some great things out here. Get around those people and allow them to help you grow as well.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, if I want to find out where you at, how can I get in contact with you?
Yes, right now, my website is in the works, so I'll let everyone know about the website soon. But you can find me on Facebook at Juavon Bell. It's Juavon, that's Juavon. And my Instagram is Von_the_model1.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
And your story, I love it. And I applaud you, and I'm pushing you for success. I want you to go all the way to the top, and don't allow anything and anyone to stand in your way. You just keep moving.
Oh, yeah, believe me, I am. I'm pushing.
Yes. Hard work make the dream work.
Yes, it does.
I mean, sometimes they say don't work too hard.
Right, right.
Work smart. But you can do both sometimes. Sometimes you got to work hard to get your dream started.
Yes, exactly. So,
it goes both ways on depends, on what it is.
yep.
So thank you again for coming out and being on Let's Talk Fashion.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you too. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. March 18th, we have D-Ma on with his clothing line. And I want to send a special shout out to all the birthdays tomorrow, March 5th. I'm one. Rashad, Melisha Thomas. Happy birthday to all the Pisces that's here in March. God bless. Thank you. 716 live in the building. Jay Heat. We thank you so much. God bless.